Welcome back to Black Star Dove. Welcome back to my channel. As always, I need you to hit me up with that HBO special, which means help a brother out. I'm just trying to get over 1,000 subscribers and of course over 4,000 watch hours so I can start making this become a passive source of income to take care of my little son. You know, he's getting older, he's getting hungrier. You know, gotta feed that thing. Oh man. Let's get into the topic of today's video. Hitting the wall. What does it mean? I've seen a lot of people talking about hitting the wall, and I'm gonna talk about it from the man and from the female perspective, which also ties into possible predatory acts. I don't know if YouTube is gonna like me saying that word, but I'm a small YouTube channel, so it's not like I'm already buried. So I mean, it is what it is. So let's talk about hitting the wall and what is referred to as hitting the wall. Let's start from the male perspective because I'm a man. Hitting the wall for a man usually happens like between the age of 35 and 45. During that time, that man should be at his peak earning capabilities. You know, he should be making the most amount of money that he's going to make. You know, we're not talking about somebody just hitting the lottery or something like that. We're talking about if you're like working and all that stuff, you know, and your investments and you're being smart. From the age of 35 to 45, you should be making the most money that you ever made, especially if you're smart. And when that wall hits, usually it's because they wasn't smart with their money. I'm gonna give a few examples. I'm gonna weave everything in. So just stay with me, and I'm gonna come back and go forward, and I'm gonna explain this. Now, for a woman hitting the wall, it happens one of two ways, and you can blame the double standards of society. Number one, the partial wall is having children. You know, having children, not being married, things of that nature. A lot of men would consider that hitting the wall, and making her value go down. Some people will argue that your value can never go down as long as you hold yourself up. I'm a firm believer in it's not about how much you ask for, it's about how much you get for it. So if you're asking for $1 million, $1 million, $1 million, but you settle on 500,000, it wasn't worth $1 million. It was only worth 500,000. Now, that's if you sell. You could ask for $1 million, $1 million, $1 million, and people only offering you 500K. But if you don't sell it, then it's still worth $1 million. It's just that you're not getting the offers that you want. So that's the first way that a woman can hit the wall. The second way a woman can hit the wall is usually when they say after the age of 30. I typically don't believe that, especially for black women. Black women have, for the most part, we're talking about the collective, they have amazing genes and they can look youthful into their 40s and sometimes even beyond that. But a lot of people say 30. I'm gonna say about 40. And what that means is that they get to an age. Okay, so I'm gonna say 30 because, like, for this example, they get to an age where they're looking around and the pickings are slim. This is gonna lead to my next video on how black men became the prize. Don't get triggered yet. Look for that video that's gonna come out, and I promise you, I'm gonna tie all this in together. Like, just stay with me. I promise you that. So that's gonna be my next video, how black men became the prize, and then we're gonna talk about all that hitting the wall stuff and all that stuff in there too. So she's looking around, and she's noticing that there's slim pickings. And sometimes even the men that she wants may not necessarily want her because he might want someone that's a little bit younger, and she's realizing that her time for children is coming up. Even though you can have children after the age of 35, it has been medically stated that women shouldn't for complication reasons. But of course, we've all seen it happen after that. Whatever you decide to do with your body is your choice. I have nothing to do with that. I'm just simply saying that a lot of women see the age of 35 as the cutoff point for children. So then she's looking like she wants to get married, she wants to have the children. But, you know, while she spent all this time fooling around with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, not... Oh, I'm very sorry about that. I had to cough that up. I don't have the Rona or anything. But while she's fooling around with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, she was never looking for anything really too serious, because she was either focused on her career, focused on school, focused on whatever, focused on securing the bag. Now that she's ready for that slowdown and that commitment, there seems to be very slim pickings to choose from. That's what we call hitting the wall. And then she might, especially if she believes in hypergamy, there's even more slim pickings, and she might actually choose someone who actually makes a whole lot less than her. But we're talking about the wall here, and why I believe like the wall exists and how we can break it down. Growing up in high school, college, we all seen it. We all seen the women that are our ages, you know, high school, college age, going out with 30 and 40-year-olds. Why? Because they was in their prime earning years. He could usually get a few dollars, you know, take her wherever she wants to buy her something nice. And she used her youthfulness to get that. She used her youthfulness and her looks. So it was no fair exchange, is no robbery. He wanted someone young. She wanted someone who had money. Boom. It's a connection. But then once that man starts losing the money, and now he's getting desperate, sometimes he might want marriage too. So he hits the wall, especially financially wise, when he starts complaining about how all these women want nothing but his money and all that stuff. But while he was getting it, he had no problem giving the money to them. You know. So it all just like weaves in together, and it's like, man, because you know, being younger, you see it. You know that you really didn't have that much chance with a woman because you was poor, you was broke, you was a college student. And here comes this middle-aged man, got all this money, you know, he drives a nice little car, got a Porsche, BMW, picks her up like that, takes her off. And you can't do nothing because, hey, you're riding the bus and you're work study and you're trying to split a $5 Little Caesars pizza with your friends. I mean, we all been there. But it's just so weird how everything connects with it. And then, like I said, for the women, women who have children who are usually seen as, you know, hitting the wall or losing their value. I said that's semi-true. That's not all the way true. There are some women who, you know, who lose that. From my perspective, of course, everybody's beautiful in their own way. Just like somebody can look at me and say, you're not my cup of tea. But I would say, you know, I'm somebody's. So that's all that matters. But like I've seen women who have children who look completely amazing that I would marry in an instant. If you're pretty sure you have IG, look up this woman called Six the Goddess. Six the Goddess. She has a child, but she looks like drop dead gorgeous, and I would marry that woman the first chance I get. But like I said, like, you know, it all depends on how you play your cards. Everyone knows their strengths, and they try to capitalize on their strengths while hiding their weaknesses. It's all a game. You know, the wall is just a game. The wall is something that men tell women, because I feel like when that woman was younger, she wasn't looking at that man per se. She was looking at the older man. But now that she's older, she wants that man that's the same age as him. And he's like, F you. You know, when I wanted you, when I was interested in you, you wasn't looking my way. That's the whole back then you didn't want me, now I'm hot, they're all on me. But then that man continues the cycle of going out and getting that younger woman just so he can quote unquote trick off on her and all that stuff and have that younger side piece, and then gets mad when she's all about the money. You know, you can't get mad when she's all about the money when that's how you enticed her in the first place. Same thing I say for women. You can't get mad at a man who only wants you for sex when that's all you ever advertise. You just advertise your body. So he looks at you like a piece of meat and you're like, why? that's all you ever show. But yeah, this wall conversation gets deep. This is probably just gonna be part 1. So there will be a part 2, but I've already promised a video on how Black Man Became the Prize. So I don't know if I'm gonna do a wall part 2 video and then do the Black Man Became the Prize, or do the Black Man Became the Prize first. But yeah, I have a lot of thoughts, as you can see on this, and I'm already at the 10-minute mark. And YouTube analytics say that once they hit the 10-minute mark, most people's minds go and they check out. So I'm just gonna end it here and say thank you, I love you. Hope you hit that subscribe button. Hope you tune in for part 2. Peace.